I believe that large language models have given us an existence proof of the symbolic realm, because all the large language models do is calculate statistical probabilities. And so there's some probability that any given word will be associated with any other given word. And then you can think of a network of probabilities, not only of words, but of phrases and of sentences. And the billions of calculations, the billions of mathematical, what would you call them? They're elements in something like a regression equation. The billions of them map word to word, phrase to phrase, sentence to sentence, sentence to paragraph, like all those levels of mapping. And so they've mapped out the statistical relationship between words.
Yeah.
But there's no reason to assume, this is, I think, a key to Jung's collective unconscious, or one key. There's no reason to assume that exactly the same isn't true of images, right? So you could imagine that human cognition has a propositional level, which is word, but under that, closer to action is an image level. And the words, like in a story, you get words describing images, right? And then you can capture that richness in the image. And the fact that there's a statistical relationship between the words is replicated with regards to the images. There's statistical relationships between images, so that witch and cat go together, and witch, cat, and swamp go together, along with broom, right? And so if you see any of those in an animated production, they're evocative of the others, and that's the symbolic overtone.
Yeah.
And so you can see that image level of cognition is a little more foreign to us than the propositional. It seems like we're more at home with the word. Once you drop into the image realm, you're more into the realm of dreams, right? And dreams play with those symbolic, those statistical association. It's so cool that we have something like a mathematical model of the symbolic world now.
Yeah.
And so it's indisputable that it exists.
Yeah, and the reason why we notice a form or an identity is because we're seeing a reason for it to exist. We're noticing a purpose. And that's in line with this whole perceptual mechanism that you bring to light.
Definitely.
You know? And so it's not that these ideas or that these forms exist in some weird, I don't know, it's like weird ethereal
purposeless
realm.
fact.
Yeah, it's just that they are, because they bind multiplicity together, they're relatively invisible, because you can't see the category. You're always seeing.
Well, it also fades into the ineffable. So that's the structure of Jacob's ladder. You could imagine that as you move down into the material, let's say you're taking things apart, you're taking metacategories apart into their subsidiary metacategories all the way down. Well, you run into something like
potential
yeah, like at the bottom, right? And then if you move up to the top, well, you run into something.
Spirit.
Yeah, exactly.
Spirit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's the Jacob's ladder imagery,
Yeah.
right? Which is this spiral. It's often portrayed as a spiral. William Blake portrayed it as a spiral with angels moving up and down, right? So he sees this infinite upward movement that characterizes life, with the ineffable divine at its pinnacle.
And the reason why we need that story is because of the fact that it's just different phenomena that you're analyzing that lead to different predictable outcomes. You know,
value-free facts.
Exactly, value-free facts.
Yeah.
No, we do care, and we do find it difficult to see the suffering in humans.